Do comic book collectors need to be a little bit more respectful? I think this is a great topic. One question led me to think about this. This is not something I've ever talked about, but we don't treat each other with respect. And we wonder why people become trolls and get back and forth. We treat each other like we're Mexican vendors at the border, and that's not how comic book collectors should treat each other. When we want to buy a comic book, especially online where it's not a store we have to develop a relationship with, we just want it to be transactional. We're like, I want to buy my stuff, get it out, I never want to talk to you again. Which is hard when it's a social media interaction where people want to be social, and social media encourages social media. My name is Tarkus Jude Mossberg. I have a Facebook profile. Jude's Junk is my Facebook comic book shop and YouTube channel. And I'm a collector, and I sell books. And because I sell books, I have to report income. So some people might call me a dealer. Some people might call me a collector. I don't know. I'm probably the same as most of the collectors out there. We dabble, we buy, we sell. Some people have stores and they're only dealers, but then they have a private collection, so they're collectors and dealers. Some people might be 70% dealer, 30% collector, 90% dealer, 10% collector. I guess it depends on how much of your stuff you're moving. I see a lot of these YouTube guys that are saying, I need to move my inventory within 30 days. That sounds like a full-on dealer inventory control management. Get it moving. If it doesn't sell, lower the price, get it out, in and out. I would say a lot of us that are collectors, that's not the case. I could be wrong. But when I put a book up for sale, and I specialize in very special, high-end, rare books. So I just posted a book up. It's the only copy in the world. There's only one 9/8 yellow sign copy of this 1977 Conan magazine-size book in the world. Marvel Comics Super Special #2, signed by Roy Thomas. And I put it on a Conan group, and I get a guy that, says it's overpriced, blah, 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 whatnot. And then they say good luck. And most of us know that good luck is just condescending as heck. And it's condescending when you say it. When I walk into a 7-Eleven and the candy bar says $3.50, would you ever say to the cashier, good luck selling that for $3.50? Because I wouldn't pay more than 99 cents for a candy bar. Or they have I looked at my gas station the other day, it's Stinker in Idaho, and they have these, I don't know, it's this new kind of chocolate from Saudi Arabia, and it's like a little bar, and it's like $50, something stupid. I'm like, we're in the middle of Podunk Mountains of Idaho. Who's going to buy a $50 gold-plated chocolate or pistachio-infused chocolate or whatever? And I would want to say good luck with that, but whatever. That's their store. Buy and sell what you want. If it doesn't sell, you'll learn the lesson. So as a collectors, when we say good luck with that sale, it doesn't ever come across as genuine. And I know some people could be genuine, but it's just not respectful. Plus, it shows the mindset of how people treat each other on here. I'm not a store that needs to turn over inventory. I'm a collector first. And so in our minds, we differentiate between collectors. We'll give them respect. But dealers, or especially flippers, I'm going to treat them like crud because I don't like flippers. I mean, I don't know even what a flipper is. A guy that buys the new Absolute Batman 15, first appearance of Absolute Joker, gets it graded at a 9/8 and sells it for $60. Is that a flipper? No, it's a guy who's providing a value-added service. I just went out and bought a book. Black Friday, sold it for 20% off. Friend of mine, Lost Boy Comics. I got the brand new cover A, 9.8 with 20% off. It was like $50 shipped. Perfect. That's what it would cost me to just mail any book in. So if I can get it shipped at my door for $50, looks like a fun book. Absolute Batman's blowing up. What the heck? Get a cover A. Point is, it's a value added. He's not a flipper. But some people might interpret that as a flipper and then treat him poorly. A guy that goes out and buys someone's collection and then does all the work to put up all those $1 books on an auction. There's a lot of work involved in that. I would not want to do that kind of work. Buy a collection of 10,000 comic books, do a bunch of Facebook auctions at $1 start, pack and ship and keep track of, $31 books for one person, and then the complaining that these people are doing for buying $1 books. I know, because I used to complain, and and I had some sellers that just blocked me because they're like, I don't want to deal with this. It's $1 book. Shut up and take it. So is that a flipper? Someone goes and buys an eBay book for $20 and then turns around and now tries to sell it for $50. Isn't that what everybody on Marketplace does? Everybody that goes to thrift stores? Aren't they all flippers? We have this bad idea of flippers. I do get it if you're buying it to take it away from someone else who really wants it, just to try to go out and make a profit, like some of the people do at conventions. And that's where the fight broke out recently. I think it was San Diego Comic-Con. And, fights break out because all the dealers somehow get there a day early and then, buy up way more than they're supposed to because of, maximum you can only buy 2 books or something, and they end up somehow getting 10, and then they go straight online and turn around and try to sell it for 150, and you can get upset at that, but it's a value added because they're selling it to people that can't afford to go to the convention, and then the people at the convention can't buy it. So I understand how the people at the convention could get upset. But anyways, why treat people selling comic books with disrespect? There's a lot of people that are ignorant and immature, and most of us don't want to deal with that type. And you get a lot of the people online doing that who aren't actually buying. They're like the price police. That's why so many groups say no price bashing. We don't want the price police. Move on. We'll just kick you out. It's annoying. Nobody here wants it. So there's different ways to just be critical. And I get trolls. I love trolls. You make a comment on mine and it pops it to the top of the list, and it's a free bump. So comment away, and I just always love trolls, and they start getting negative, and I'm on, thanks for the free bump, guy. That's great. So, but I don't think people understand, I got this book. When I bought it, the last sale was $400. Now the last sale is like 89 or something. And the last sale I got wasn't that long ago, like 4 months ago. So it's just like falling off a cliff in 4 months. So I get it. I thought it was a $400 book. Apparently it's not. Sent it in to get signed by Roy Thomas. He was the writer, a 1977 9.8 magazine book. Early preview of Conan. Good looking book. Rarest book. There is no 9.8 signed. I don't see Roy Thomas coming up for signature events a lot. Maybe he does in person at conventions. But I wouldn't want to sell it for less than what I'm asking. Now, could someone ask me $100 less? Yeah, I would totally entertain that, especially if we're talking cash. If someone offered me $700 less, I don't even know what I marked it for. Maybe I marked it for $800. So, they're like saying, that's a $100, book at best and a $30 signature. I'll give you $130. Okay. No, I don't need to sell it. I'm a collector. I'm not living off this. I'm not like living in my car starving and you can take advantage of me like you would want to take advantage of somebody at the Mexican border of Arizona and Mexico, and take advantage of people that are desperately dying for food, and they're like, well, good luck with that. What do you mean good luck? I got an awesome book. I love it in my collection. I have a whole box just for magazine size 9.8, and if I can get 70s and 80s magazine size 9.8 signed, perfect. I love that. I love it that it's in my collection. Why do I want good luck to sell it for less than what I want to sell it for? So when you say, good luck with that sell, it just annoys people. You're trying to annoy people. Maybe you don't do it. Maybe people have done it to you. It's immature and annoying, and we should quit it. And this is why groups are against people being jerks. Many groups are against people being the price police. You just move on. You don't go up to the person at the store, at the gas station or the Target, and say, this is an overpriced item. I can go get this online for this. They just look at you and say, well, go do it. Buy pound sand. I don't care. No one's interested in your 2 cents about whether you think it's overpriced. Now, if you're trying to look cool and you want people to see your comments, and so you're trying to belittle someone so people will think you're smarter, I get that game. It's a very immature game, and that's what bullies used to do in high school and stuff. They want people to see how tough they are, whatever. And if you get some accolades from someone online who likes the fact that you're belittling someone else, then you guys can all have a party together and create your own group. But we should have so much more respect. This is not a big profit engine. Even people that are doing this for a living, I don't know how they do it, tell you the truth. I got an MBA, I've been a consultant for years. I have 3 businesses. Um, it's hard to make a living. A lot of people that have businesses, they end up going out of business. Maybe they gamble that they're going to make more money. For the people that are making profit, God bless you. They're probably diversifying. You know, my comic book shop is still in business because they do toys, books, cards. They do everything. They sell coffee next door to a very popular restaurant. So everyone comes in and has coffee while they're waiting to be seated at the breakfast place next door. So he has a diversification model. Those of us who are online, we're more specialists. You know, we're not like, oh, we'll sell everything, unless we're just totally competing at price and we're like an Unknown Comics and we're just, you know, selling everything. But it's the word of the day is we should be respectful with each other as collectors. Um, and I know you know that. I'm just preaching the choir. But when someone says specifically, good luck with that, I would want to say, I don't want good luck. I'd rather keep it than sell it for less. So if you offered me $300 less and I wouldn't sell it, that means I'd rather have it in my collection. It's better for me to have that book in my collection than to take your $300. Now, if you want to get closer to my price of $800, and then you want to say I want to pay you $700 cash, I always give 10% off for cash. So $720 off an $800 book is my standard. And if you came back to me and you were a regular client I like dealing with, and you said, hey, I want to do $650, I'd probably say sure. But someone I don't know coming out of the blue, belittling my price, saying, sell it to me for $200, there's no way this book is worth anything. You're just showing up trying to bash my books that I love. That hurts my feelings. I'm sensitive. I love this book. You don't like 1977 magazine size signature books graded, because there's people that don't like graded. There's people who don't care about 9.8s. There's people who don't like signature series, and they want to slam the value of my book. I get it. I get it. You don't like it. But for me to walk around and tell people, go up to someone's car, how much are you selling that car for? Oh, it's not for sale. Yeah, if you would sell it, how much would you sell it for? I probably wouldn't sell it, but I'd take 10 grand. Oh, it's not worth more than 5. Yeah, but I'm not offering it. I don't want to sell it for less than 10. I want to keep it. And so people think just because we're putting a book out there for sale at a certain price, that's basically a unicorn. I have a lot of unicorns. I specialize in very unique books. I got a Captain Britain #1 9.8 signed by Claremont. Last sale on GPA was $3,600. Magazine size, first appearance of Captain Britain. $3,600 was the last sale before tax and shipping. And I'm selling it for $3,600. And most people will be like, well, that's way overpriced compared to a blue label. Well, it's what people are paying for it out there. So because you don't have GPA, you don't know what people are paying for it, so you want to bash someone's price. That's another thing. People bash prices and they don't even have GPA. They use cover price or CLZ, not CLZ. What's the other one? Go Collect, who doesn't collect as much data and usually has, maybe they're getting better. I don't want to bash on them. Go Collect has some good features. I like being able to see the actual books. But I find the recorded sales on GPA much more accurate. They're much more thorough in reporting the right sales price that an eBay book sold for that was best offer. GPA does better at reporting the actual sale. Go Collect and Cover Price will report what's on the computer screen, not necessarily go into the background and find out what was the actual reported negotiated sale. So anyways, I digress. People that are slamming others with no prices. I know every group wants to create a group that's just full of respectful people, but we can't even keep out bots. How are we going to keep out jerks that are not bots, you know? So anyways, you would do better to treat everybody with respect. You have no idea what that person is. I've been thinking about bringing this up on a video a lot, and now is a good time to bring it up. Let's say you have poor interaction with somebody, regardless of who's at fault. So you block them. No big deal, right? Never have to deal with them again. Innocent enough. The problem is that guy might have been an admin on one of the largest groups online. So now when they go to clean out their list of members, and they have an unlisted list. If you don't know this, there's an unlisted list, and the admins go in and clean that out. That means someone has blocked an admin. So if you blocked a guy because you had a bad interaction with him, whether it's your fault or his fault, and you're an admin or he's an admin of a group, you're now on a different list and most likely going to get bumped from that group, banned. And so if you can afford to be banned from a bunch of different groups, because there's a lot of admins out there. We like being online. We interact with people. You never, if you're in the group, it might say admin, but if you're not in that group, it might not say the word admin on Facebook. So, if we show respect, you're not going to get burned. If you show disrespect, you're going to start getting blocked and you're going to get kicked out of the groups. And if you don't really want to be in the groups, then you're just out here trying to raise difficulty just for fun until you get booted out, and then you're going to say, I don't like Facebook. So anyways, it's better to be more respectful. You can always negotiate better. You might end up doing a trade. This sale might not go through, but the guy you're talking with might say, hey, I know someone that would like that book. I'm not going to pay that much for it, but I know someone that would like that book. You got to look beyond the immediate transaction and develop relationships. And one person I saw said, that's what social media is about. It's about being social. If you don't like the social media function, there's a lot of other avenues where you don't have to be as social. Even though there's social media, they'd be less social. Instagram is less social than Facebook. Facebook, you got your pictures out there, you got your personal stuff. They can look up all kinds of things about you. Some people don't like all that. They go to Instagram or maybe even TikTok or eBay to remove all the negative comments. No one's making negative comments on that sale. All they can do is give you bad reviews. So if you want zero interaction, go back to eBay. If you want to be social media, don't be a jerk. And I know most of you totally get this. Anyways, respect is the word of the day. Have fun, guys.